Carrie's relationship with Big often left her feeling less than, like she was not worthy.
I knew you would do this! I knew it!
Hey you, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jenny and I'm a licensed psychotherapist. Be honest with me, y'all. Did you ever think that Carrie's shopping just went a little bit too far? And if you were her friend, would you ever intervene in a friendly and loving, caring way? Well, today we're talking all about how Carrie spent her money, why she spent it that way, and we're learning better coping/grounding techniques, tips that I, as a licensed therapist, use to curb my own past shopping problems. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. It was the winter after my undergraduate graduation. I had maxed out my $1,000 limit credit card. My car broke down, and I could not get a fair interest rate to buy a new one. I got a new job, but my first few paychecks were spent paying that credit card off because guess what? It had accrued interest, a lot of it. After all, I was young with a credit card. I'd be lying if I said I was perfect now. I'm not. But I have not maxed out another card. So we know Carrie has a financial problem. Let's break down exactly what that problem looks like and exactly where she spends all of her money. Let's start with shoes. In season 4, episode 16, there was this huge thing. Carrie didn't know where all her money went. She was trying to buy an apartment. And this is where Miranda said, "You spent $40,000 on shoes."
I spent $40,000 on shoes?
And Carrie was so shocked she hadn't even realized. Sometimes we're coping in a maladaptive way and we don't even realize it until someone else points it out, or it's affected our life so greatly that we really have to confront it. And this is what happens to Carrie here. Carrie also spent a lot of money on designer clothes. In fact, Elle magazine estimates that she spent $175,000 on clothes alone in one season. Elle says in the span of just one Sex and the City season, the style icon wears 140 outfit changes, including 120 pairs of heels, 100 different bags. And she was seen shopping at least 9 times on camera. The next thing Carrie spent a lot of money on was cigarettes. And the thing is, with something that we're so used to, we don't realize how much it can add up, especially if it's something that we do every day. And Carrie was seen often smoking really whenever she was walking down the street, when she was at home writing, she was always smoking. So it's easy to see how this is something that could add up so much. According to the Financial Diet, Carrie spent about $364 a month on cigarettes alone. Carrie could often be found at the latest restaurants, the latest nightclubs, and I'll be the first to tell you, hanging out with your girlfriends, chatting it up with them is really great for the soul, it's great for your mental health, it's a great way to process things. I love it. Community is very important, but not when you're spending $240 a month on said community, because there are other things you can do as a community. For example, potlucks, get-togethers that don't cost anything, going to the park, making a picnic together, things like that. And lastly, what I'll mention is transportation. Fabulously, Carrie could always be found hailing a cab, and I thought it was the cutest. I love a yellow cab. I think it's cute. But there were other options like the subway. And I'm not even saying that Carrie had to take the subway every time she traveled, but it would have been a great practice for her to try to take it at least a few times a month. That could have been beneficial for her. And the Financial Diet estimates that Carrie spent about $840 a month on cabs. And all of this spending was done on a salary of $40,000 a year. I'm even a little scared to add it up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I forgot to add rent, utilities, and all that. And I do believe Carrie was in a rent-controlled apartment. I do believe it's been said to have been about $700 a month. So you do the math and let me know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The thing is, Carrie was spending so much money, she didn't even realize it, that she was judging Miranda for spending money on sheets. And this occurred in season 2, episode 16. Miranda was buying new sheets to attract better luck, and Carrie was just so shocked at how much the sheets cost. And if you think about it, sheets are something that you come home to every day. The value might be different to Carrie. She might not view it as something that is important, something that you should spend your money on. Whereas Miranda valued this. The thing is, you name it, Carrie's buying it. She's treating herself very well, as she should. There's nothing wrong with that until it starts to impact your life negatively and you find yourself almost unhoused. And it also began affecting the lives of the people around her. I'm in season 4, episode 16. Carrie was really putting pressure on Charlotte to pawn her ring and give her that money. She didn't outright say that, but she was upset that Charlotte hadn't offered to loan her the money. And she ends up taking the money from Charlotte after getting a lot of offers.
I want you to take the ring for your down payment.
And if you'd like to see my deep dive on this, I do have a video on this that I will link in the description box. So please go check that out. So why do you think Carrie spent so much money? Let me tell you what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think Carrie was coping with a lot of issues in love and relationships with Big, Aiden, and the other guy she moved to Paris with. Forgive me, I can't remember his name right now. Carrie's relationship with Big often left her feeling less than, like she was not worthy.
I knew you would do this! I knew it! I am humiliated!
And I fear that she coped with that reality with shopping. I say this because she felt like Big wanted to be with someone that was richer, someone who was from a high society like him. I don't know if you all noticed, but Big was very rich. So with her noticing that, this could have also fueled her desire to shop more to look her best. And the reason I say this about Big is because you can see in that episode where he took her to that restaurant where no one would recognize him. I know that must have hurt. So she coped with it in a way that was not really beneficial to her. Yes, you can say she loves clothes. I love clothes too. But her credit cards were maxed out. Carrie even says this herself. But I don't know if she was making that connection just yet, till Miranda pointed it out to her in that episode about the shoes. In season 6, episode 19, Carrie could be seen falling while she went into the Dior shop in Paris. And Carrie says, and I quote, "The more I purchased, the less they would think of me as the American who fell in Dior." She was so embarrassed that she spent so much money in there. She even mentions that she wouldn't be able to use that card for years to come. She was using money to assuage her feelings of feeling like the inadequate American. And that was really sad to see. She was really interested and committed to looking like she belonged in more expensive places. She didn't care that it hurt her financially. She cared that she looked good and that she felt included. And this is a reoccurring theme. She was also spending time in Paris feeling lonely, feeling like she didn't match in the guy's circle. She just did not feel like she belonged. So she was doing everything she could.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry too. Wrong number.
Carrie's motto was basically, I deserve it, I need it. My motto for her was, Carrie, you need housing too. You need a place to live. But obviously she didn't see it that way. The moment Carrie realized she couldn't afford to buy her apartment, she went shoe shopping with Miranda, really not understanding that this is where her problem lied. And I know she was supporting Miranda at the time, but as soon as I found out that I spent $40,000 on shoes, I probably would have ran out of that store. But I guess Carrie wasn't thinking about it this way. She was again trying to cope with not being able to afford a home. Again, feeling less than, not meeting the requirements. All of her friends had housing. I also noticed that Carrie wasn't budgeting, while all of her friends around her were. Carrie also spent a lot of time around people who could spend money frivolously and be okay. I remember that famous episode where Carrie was shopping for shoes, but her friend happens to be there, steps in, and pays for her. And last, Carrie wrote a column that included fashion, so she probably felt the need to keep up for her job, for her career. So I'm wondering, could those shoes have been a tax write-off? Don't listen to me, y'all. I'm not a financial professional. I'm just thinking here. So all in all, Carrie was using fashion as therapy. Many studies have shown that shopping makes us feel like we're in control. It alleviates sadness, and we also get that hit of dopamine. And it means the world to us, especially with everything going on right now. We need to feel like we're in control of some part of our lives. Carrie was shopping to distract herself from stress and emotional pain. And if this is you, you're not alone. According to NerdWallet, just under 85% of Americans admit to overspending. That's pretty much most of us. We're all in this together. And this is why we have to learn better ways to cope. So how can we use grounding techniques to curb that shopping problem? Well, first, what are grounding techniques? Grounding techniques are strategies used to help individuals stay present and focused in the moment, reducing stress and anxiety. It's important that we recognize our triggers, recognize our patterns. Something I noticed in myself is whenever I was down, had a long day, had a hard day, I would drive to the mall, stroll through the stores and buy. I would also scroll online and shop, whatever it took to make myself feel better. And I had to recognize that that pattern wasn't healthy for me, and it wasn't healthy for my finances. So instead of shopping, what I would do is I would go for a mindfulness walk. I would call a girlfriend to chat. I would bake for a loved one, whatever it took. I even took up gardening, and I grew some pretty big sunflowers. It was crazy. I didn't realize sunflowers could be that big. It's also important to implement other grounding techniques like deep breathing, hopping into a cold shower. As soon as you notice that sensation, that sadness coming over, you're able to say, okay, I need to ground myself and I need to do something immediately. And I would notice that because my shoulders were tense, I was grinding my teeth, I was shaking my leg. As soon as I noticed that, I knew I was nervous. My heart was racing. I felt overwhelmed. As soon as I noticed those things, I said, it's time to ground myself. You name it, I would do it. And if you'd like more examples of that, please let me know in the comments. I would love to provide some more examples. So what are some different things that you can do to alleviate this problem? The thing is, I love to think of myself as a creative person. I love to shop. I love clothes. But I realized that, hey, you could go to consignment shops, you can go online to the Real, you can go to these different secondhand places that maybe you can find your looks for less. If you love to get your nails done and your toes done, something I love, I decided, hey, I should only maybe do my toes because I like a more extensive service. So I'll just do that instead. And if I'd like to get my nails done, I'll paint them myself. I used to do this in high school because I love being creative. So it's awakening that other part of me. And it could be the same for you. Sometimes things happen and we do buy the stuff. We fall down, but guess what? It's okay to return them. The thing is, many people are embarrassed to return stuff, but I think for me, the benefits outweigh that risk. I'd rather have the money back in my account than not. So I would return things and I would avoid buying things final sale. And if you do happen to slip, we all do, we're human, and you buy something that is final sale, I would encourage you to use secondhand markets to sell them yourself. Sell it on eBay, sell it on Etsy, sell it on the Real, wherever you feel most comfortable. If it's really important that you shop, you might find it beneficial to have a high yield savings account where you save your money and earn interest. So you might use that interest that you've earned to shop. You can also make a wish list. I have tons of wish lists. And sometimes when I find myself with extra money, I go scroll through to see if I can get anything. And sometimes I'm like, that wasn't really cute. I don't like that. And so that's when you realize, hey, that could have been an impulse buy. Remember that buy now, pay later can be very predatory. Also remember that credit cards have interest rates and they're usually pretty high. Like I mentioned before, I maxed out my credit card at $1,000, but what I paid back was much more. And you might be like, duh, Jenny, I know credit cards have interest. But the thing is, sometimes we don't realize it until we see it. Out of sight, out of mind. It's also best that you only spend about 30% of your credit limit. That doesn't make sense. Why give me all that money if I can only spend 30% of it? I don't make the rules. But it might be a good idea for you to stick to that rule. And of course, credit card companies, they're not coming out of the gate telling you this to your face. They might hide it in the fine prints. Realize that the rush is only temporary. Take time to journal how you're feeling after you've made that big purchase. It was supposed to make you feel good, right? Did it make you feel good? It's important to hold yourself accountable and have an accountability partner if you need it. Moving forward, don't make it easy for you to spend that money. Put the credit card in another room. Try to not memorize the numbers. I would always memorize the numbers of credit cards. Try not to do that. Try not to save your card for an easier time checking out next time. I know every company that we're buying from offers that option. Try to say no. And if you're still having a hard time, it's okay to seek help. Please see a licensed professional. It's okay. Don't think of it as a silly problem because it could turn to an even bigger problem later on. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. If you've enjoyed this Sex and the City video, please check out my other videos linked below where I do Sex and the City deep dives. As always, if you're interested, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. That would really help me out. Please don't hesitate to let me know if there's other episodes, other shows, movies, songs that you'd like me to break down. I really enjoy doing those. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Bye now.